What's going on, Flicks Talkers? Welcome back to another movie review, this time for the film Cruella, coming out on Disney Plus and in theaters on May 28th, 2021. Now, this film does star Emma Stone as Estella, aka Cruella de Vil, Emma Thompson as the Baroness, Joel Fry as Jasper, Paul Walter Hauser as Horace, and Mark Strong playing John the Valet, just to name a few. Now, before I do get into my spoiler-free review for Cruella, make sure you guys are hitting that big thumbs up to like the video if you guys do appreciate content like this. It always does help to support this channel and spread these videos out to those that aren't subscribed. And if you yourself aren't subscribed, consider doing so today and hitting that bell notification for future videos. Alright, so let's just jump directly into the pros of Cruella. I loved Emma Stone as Cruella de Vil, aka Estelle. So it is an origin story, guys. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Estelle, Cruella de Vil, let me break it down for you. We get introduced to a young Estella, and from an early age, it looks like she just doesn't fit in. She's definitely the odd kid out, but is that because she's weird? Is that because she's unique? I would say the latter. She's definitely a creative individual, but we get to see kind of her comeuppance. I mean, she really is someone who, you know, stays strong and stays true to herself, whether that means getting into a fight with boys and getting kicked out of school. Young Estella is definitely destined for more, and we get to see that, guys, in this origin story. Now, along the way, tragic events do happen, leaving her to kind of fend for herself and join up with the characters of Horace and Jasper. Now, these characters definitely grew on me, guys, and more recently, I did catch for the first time 101 Dalmatians, the 1996 live action with Glenn Close, so you're gonna hear a lot of comparisons. Even though I want to make this a standalone movie, I couldn't help but just kind of compare and contrast from that movie. So they're pretty much the only friends and family that she does have at the time, where they're pulling heist left and right, so we get to see a lot of that mischief going down, and how Cruella gets put in the midst of the Baroness, which is pretty much Cruella 2.0. So it's kind of like her teacher and her muse, so to speak, because this woman, the Baroness, definitely has Cruella de Vil vibes. Now, Emma Thompson playing the Baroness, the other Emma in this movie, man, she did a fantastic job herself. I thought she definitely had some big shoes to fill. Once again, I can't keep comparing, but man, that Glenn Close Cruella de Vil was everything to me, and she definitely gave me vibes, but she didn't go that extreme. She was just very strong, but in a negative manner, where she kind of felt everybody was the enemy and everybody was kind of out to get her. So what did she do? She kind of treated everybody like dirt and an obstacle. She even says it in the movie. Everybody's an obstacle, so she's just kind of there to fend for herself and make herself the focal point of attention. So she was definitely a character besides Emma Stone that stood out to me, and I really did appreciate her performance. Now, another pro of mine was the actual story itself. Just kind of seeing once again Emma Stone as Estella, aka Cruella, just kind of her struggle and fight to survive, because she was literally just struggling, and she didn't have a pot to piss in, really. So, you know, she was just really struggling to kind of make it on her own 2 feet, of course with the help of Jasper and Horace along the way, but she knew she was destined for more. So I always like seeing those kind of rocky underdog stories and whatnot, and she gets kind of, the stars do align and put in the right place, and I do like to see that she was a unique individual, very creative individual. We got to see, you know, little hints and glimmers of that along the way. Now, when she finds out that she has to be a little more cutthroat than she needs to be, and certain events happen, that's when Cruella, aka what I like to call Joker brain, just kind of kick in into full gear, and we get a full tonal shift of Cruella, guys, and I liked seeing it. There's gonna be a lot of people that really do compare her to Harley Quinn. I know they were doing that from the trailer. No, I did not get those vibes at all whatsoever. Maybe a couple of shots of her like hanging off the side of a dump truck or whatnot, or her driving just really manic. You know, you kind of see that in the trailer, I believe. That's fine, you can compare, but it's totally a different character. I felt like she stood in her own lane along the way, and I did like the ending finale of this movie. And last but not least, this is a quick positive right here, but the music, the score was fantastic. It was set in the 60s and the 70s. Some of the best music are those decades right there, guys. You can argue with me all you want. I really did get some feel-good emotions from every single damn song they played on that. This soundtrack is stacked. I heard like 10 classic bangers from that era. So once again, argue with me that that's not like the best music ever. All right, now to my cons for Cruella. So I would say that this movie is just a tad bit long. I believe it's roughly about 2 hours and 14 minutes. I would have trimmed off about 15 minutes of that because I kind of got the gist of what was going on. I just needed some more rapid speed. If you guys are kind of going into this expecting, you know, some amped up scenes, you don't get too much in here. You kind of get some revenge factor stuff in here. Devil Wears Prada, a lot of fashionista stuff going on here. So if you guys are just fans of that stuff, expect it, but don't really expect anything too wild. Even when it came to some of the heists that we were getting along the way, wasn't crazy Ocean's 11 stuff here, guys, but you know, it happens. The heists, they just happen, and that's what was kind of a little lackluster for me, I will admit that. And that being said, it could have been trimmed off a bit to kind of hold my engagement just a little more. Now, jumping to another con of mine, guys, is the predictability. There was so many moments in this film where I was predicting the next scene or what this person was about to say. So, you know, if I can predict it, someone that doesn't write movies at all, I mean, it's kind of just, you know, it should be able to baffle me a little more than that. Even though there is a big twist in this third act that I was like, still, too much predictability in this film. And last but not least con that I do have for Cruella, guys, and I know it's being nitpicky, but it just stood out so much to me. Even though I think I am the demographic for this movie, because I kept, along the way, we kept saying, is this for kids? And I really don't think it is. I think it's for like a 13+ audience, if I'm being completely honest, or those that grew up with 101 Dalmatians, either the live action or the animated film. So that being said, the CGI dogs. Every dog in this film was CGI. Okay, there was a lot of practical, you know, shots with them just kind of sitting there waiting and whatnot. But when it came to a lot of the running, a lot of the kind of jumping towards, you know, either the camera or jumping at things, everything that was an animal was CGI. And that really kind of sucked me out. And once again, you can say, yeah, they can't do those scenes with animals though, because it's just impossible. Okay, I understand that. Then maybe kind of work around that, do it in a practical way to where you don't get sucked out. And once again, for some people, that may be completely fine to see a CGI Dalmatian flying at the camera. But for me, it just wasn't. And that kind of sucked me out just in that moment. And then guess what? I went back right to the movie that I was liking. So even though I did have some cons, guys, I think the pros outweigh it, and I did have a good time with this, especially since I am coming off of seeing 101 Dalmatians, the Glenn Close version, in 1996. So I have a little more appreciation of this whole 101 Dalmatians world and the prequel that comes before it. So that being said, guys, I think I'm gonna give Cruella a solid 3.5 out of 5. Almost, you know, if I had to go keep pushing up decibels, maybe a 3.7, but I don't do that in my rating scales. I do 3.5s. I do it 0.5s wise. So a 3.5 out of 5, saying I think it's a good watch, especially guys if you do like 101 Dalmatians or like Emma Stone. She put on a great performance. She definitely went there with the emotional beats. But for me, it's a one and done, and watch it at home, I think. I don't know. I know it's being shown in theaters, guys, this weekend, but I think you probably will enjoy it in the comfort of your own home. All right, guys, let me know what you think of Cruella when you do see it down in the comments below. And if you guys did appreciate my review and thoughts, let me know by giving me a big thumbs up to like the video. It always does help to spread these videos out to those that aren't subscribed. And if you yourself aren't subscribed, consider doing so today and hitting that bell notification. Also, if you guys are a fan of movies and entertainment news, I post that daily on my social media. I'll leave all the links in the description below. All right, guys, till next video, I'm gone. Peace.